Richo better watch where the elbows fly this afternoon. We are ready to go at the Telstra Dome. Great expectations for both sides. Brad Otten's in the ruck against Noble. A good physical clash. Oh, plenty of crunches going on. Bodies flying left, right and centre. We are ready to go, and the players are as well by the look of it. We've got a mini melee here already. Just letting it know who's boss. Through the middle. Through the mire. It's kicked away by Fiora. Up to half forward. Here comes Kelvin Moore. And he leads Voss to the ball and takes it safely over and out.
Still on in the middle of the ground here, boys. There might be a bit of bad blood from the last time these two sides met at this ground.
And just at the moment, Bowden has gone to Revolt. He will pick up Revolt when he goes to centre half forward, and the rotation will happen. Zantuck will take Revolt out of the square.
Well, this is the area where you would expect the Saints to be on top this afternoon. Jones with the clearing kick, although it didn't really clear the defensive area. Otten's put his body on the line, dragged it under. Saints over the top, and the umpire to come in and sort things out at half forward.
Great effort by Ottens there just to hold the ball inside their forward half of the ground.
And the Richo-Fisher wrestle continues in the square. 2-on-2 in the Richmond goal square if they can get it out of this contest. Fiora had his chance. Still they go. Here he comes again. He's on the wrong side. Fiora's got time to realign himself with the square. Got himself into all sorts of trouble. Got the handball out. Roger, hurry kick. Here's Richo for his first. So good start by the Tigers, Steve. They've had most of the play.
Yes, it was a great start, but really set up by Brad Ottens just to hold that ball. Created a stoppage. Wasn't a great kick by young Roach, but Richardson read it best.
11 games for the year, 44 goals and 26 behinds for Richo. And that's a great start. I guess the question was going to be, Sauce, this afternoon, whether they can just get it in there enough times.
Well, that's exactly right. I'm sure Danny's for all the instructions would be to get it in nice and quickly to Matthew Richardson. Young Fisher, an inexperienced player. Matthew Richardson has played probably over 200 games, and he would be very keen to have a very good game today.
So Matthew Richardson with the first goal of the afternoon. Huge job for Sam Fisher. Playing just his third game of AFL football. Noble chance for Ottens, who decided not to contest the ruck contest. And secondary bounce as we look at Grant Thomas. Been a difficult 5 weeks for the Saints. They've dropped 4 games. And back at their home ground at the Telstra Dome, where they haven't lost all year. Noble and Ottens again, this time Ottens. Well done by Montagna, trying to get it clear. Spills towards Mill. Well done by Hall, put his body on the line. And another ball up. Very willing, Steve, early.
Well, I think both these teams have got plenty to prove today. Of course, Richmond coming off a poor loss last week. And St Kilda, well, they haven't been in great form, and they're up against it with a number of their key players out. So important today's game for the St Kilda Footy Club.
Ottens again. Brown somehow got ball to boot. Speaking of ball, being paid the mark. A little lucky because I don't know that covered the 15 metres. One of St Kilda's very good players last week with 30 possession. Kicks it out wide. Chance for Powell. Ferguson, or shocking kick towards half forward. Still they've got a chance though. St Kilda ball followed it up. Now a chance for Stephen Powell. Off a couple of steps, wobbles it towards the goal square. Hamill couldn't quite hold on. And the ball cannons into the post.
So Pettifer, who seems to have found a place in this lineup in defence, to Zantuck and back to Pettifer again. Somewhat hurried kick onto the wing. Jones in good shape to take the mark. And he wanted to keep going. And he trusts his left boot beautifully. So the shootout has begun at the Telstra Dome. On your right, Matthew Richardson, and on your left, Nick Revolt. And Richo's kicked the first one, and now Revolt gets the chance to respond.
And just a lovely kick there by Aussie Jones.
And you can see it right in front of your eyes as he guides it through. The Saints respond.
Well, it was a poor kick there, and it was Pettifer who just didn't hit the target. Of course, Aussie Jones makes the most of his opportunities, and Nick Riewoldt was just left on his own far too easy. But the kick by Pettifer wasn't a good one, and Riewoldt has made him pay.
Tigers paying the price for some untidy work out of their defence. Back in the centre, all tied up. Noble decisively. Well done by Johnson. Under pressure, got it to Hyde. Scrambles it forward. St Kilda there, though. Well done by Baker. Kick out wide towards the line. Tiverdale can't keep it in. Stephen Baker's got the early job on Tom Roach at half forward as Brendan Goddard back in the St Kilda side this afternoon. The young gun. Noble and Ottens again. Hard at it. Well done by Ballsy, taken high. No free kick. Yes, it was. We'll get the free kick. Free kick paid, interestingly, by the umpire not in immediate control. So Luke Ball looking for options. Very crowded St Kilda forward 50. Decides just to bomb it long. The target is Hamill. Had to beat 3 at the back. Well done by Zantuck. Can he control it? He can. Looping handball. Tivendale. Searching kick towards Moore. Well done by Moore. Picked it up cleverly on the half volley. Newman scrambles it towards half forward. Baker's first there. Cracker had 9 tackles last week. There's another one. Ferguson, brilliantly done though by Moore. Cracker was desperate. They fight on the Tigers and hold it in, and they did a very good job. For a moment, it looked as though St Kilda would clear the area. A good play, and there's the early tackles. In fact, St Kilda 5, Richmond 1.
Great play by the the Richmond players, young Moore and also Cracker there. St Kilda had plenty of players back. It was a 5-on-2 contest.
Otten wins the tap. Here's Harvey going the wrong way. Baker in support. They have got numbers, and numbers prevailing. Ferguson's kick onto the wing. This is Graham. Waits the hand pass, and he's got some run. Powell. Inboard to Guerra. Suddenly back to Graham. He's got some toe, hasn't he? Look at him go. And kick it along into the square. Hardigan was desperate. Concedes the behind. And that's the Saints up and running on the Telstra Dome. There's the man who's in charge of deciding the next coach, and next to him, next to Greg Miller, Tony Jewell, the man who had a fair influence in deciding quite a few of the previous coaches.
Any reason there behind bars, Hutto?
Working beautifully, Andrew.
Tivendale, straight to Hamill.
It's been 2 poor kicks out of the back line.
And this is the problem, Steve, because there's loose players in the forward line. Back to Riewoldt, couldn't quite take the mark, but recovers well at ground level. He's got time now. Can he find a target? Guerra in front. Good fist from Pettifer. Numbers with the Tigers, they run into each other. Tivendale kept his composure. Pettifer, was taken high in the motion of kicking, and it'll come back. And Kane Pettifer, who seems to have refound himself playing in defence.
Surely it was downfield. The umpire's calling it back.
Well, I think you're right. Kicks it out wide. Bowden lined up at centre-half back this afternoon. Hyde, the old 1-2. Bowden, penetrating kick towards half forward. Jackson, well done. Daniel Jackson, the 18-year-old, in his first game. Kick towards half forward. Cracker with courage. No mark, but he can run from 25. Kick across the face. Just scrapes in for a behind. He's disappointed, Andy Cracker. Courageous effort to go back.
It was. Read the ball beautifully. And one of their hardest working players, young Cracker.
Tigers have been inside 50 twice, and the Saints 5 times so far. As Voss goes down the middle. And again, good body work shown by Tivendale this time. The marking duels will be fascinating to watch. He goes looking for Richo. He got his chest to the ball. All Saints going to hit the turf, and Aussie Jones has got pretty busy so far, linking up with Hayes. No immediate option, so he had to swing back and find Luke Ball, who wants to run. The Saints look like they're just playing on at all costs this afternoon. Hamill's got away and should mark. Unopposed at half forward. Got away from Bowden. Likewise, Revolt's in front. The kick was certainly well flied. There was a little shove. And Revolt, I think, made sure the umpire saw it, but there did appear to be some contact.
It was probably there, but this piece of play was all set up because of Luke Ball. He put the ball under his arm and he took off and enabled the St Kilda players to get the ball inside their 50 nice and quickly, which just put the pressure back on Azanta.
Gee, a little unlucky with the free kick too, watching it back.
Collective groan from the Tiger fans, who last week, of course, had Matthew Lloyd kick a bag against them, and this week it's a Revolt, and he's in great form at the moment in front of goal. This one he just gives a little too much to across the face, and so the Saints from 4 scoring shots are 139. The Tigers 117.
Pettifer coming off, boys. He's favouring his left leg. He had some trouble with this last week. Looks like he might have re-injured himself here.
Brown into the back pocket. Hardy, dangerous kick. It's okay. Newman kicks it into the centre of the ground. Well done by Hall. Now Roach can use the football. He cannot. Gee, loose player at half forward. Shane Tuck waltzes to 50, drives it home and kicks one for the Tigers. First goal for Shane Tuck in AFL football, and what a goal it was from just on 50. And he was the player I think came on for Pettifer.
Great move by Denny Frawley. No, Pettifer came off the ground injured, and Tuck had just come onto the ground. He was the loose player there. Bad vision by the St Kilda players, but great goal, his first goal for Richmond.
There's 6 Tigers this afternoon that are sons of former AFL stars, and one of them, Shane Tuck, has just kicked his first goal in AFL footy in his 3rd game as Pettifer off the ground injured. Tuck coming on and immediately scoring for the Tigers to give them the lead. Great tap from Noble to Hayes, and the Saints generating plenty of ball out of the middle. Jones has kicked to half forward. Pressure on Milne. Newman takes him to the line, but Milne kept at the job. Hayes. Beautiful delivery for Aguera. Saints have kept it open for Revolt. Tigers now pushing numbers back, which means there must be some loose Saints across the 50 or behind the 50, which there are. Guerra, though, is a penetrating kick, and he might go himself. Kicks it into row 5 as we check in with Andy Marr.
Yeah, Pettifer's gone down into the treatment rooms, boys. He hurt the left ankle last week. The right ankle last week. It's the left ankle this week.
Plenty of spaces here for players to run into and hide, and his delivery's superb for Kelvin Moore. An open 50 for Richo to go to work in. Oh, good work at ground level, but in the end the numbers prevailing again for the Saints. Jones has been fantastic in this opening 10 or so minutes, and the Saints get away. Del Santo comfortably onto the left. Look at the space for Frankie Peckett, who's just come on to replace Powell. Goes to half forward again. Revolt's got 3 Tigers to contend with. Paul cracks the pack. All comes down to Harvey. He'll give it to Milne. Open goal, and the Saints are back in front.
Well, great roving by Robert Harvey there, the veteran of this St Kilda side. But just watch Nick Revolt here. He just creates the spillage. Had 3 against 1. Harvey read it, and Mill did the rest.
Richmond coach Danny Frawley. Stephen Milne's first goal of the afternoon. Saints back in front. Ottens up high. Hayes got it to Ball. Good tackle. He got it out wide to Graham, who kicks inside towards Rewalt. And Rewalt marks 35 metres from goal. And pretty much as good as, well, slight angle, but the way he's been kicking, you wouldn't expect him to have too much trouble with this. Great piece of centre play, Steve, by the Saints.
Well, yes, the release out of the middle came out far too easy, and Riewoldt on the lead is very good.
From inside 50, he kicks and he goals. Riewoldt has 2, and all of a sudden the Saints have, well, a little handy break. They lead by 8 points.
Yes, and that's where we felt probably at the start of the game, Michael, that the Saints would have it over. Richmond was out of that out of the midfield, and the way they did it there, they worked hard together, quick hands, and they got it down to their key forward nice and quickly.
Saints simply winning more of the footy. They've had 6 clearances to 3 so far, 45 disposals to 30. So can the Tigers respond out of the middle? They do. Ottens to Blumfield, but he couldn't take it with him. And Nick Riewoldt starting with a couple of goals. Richo with 1 so far. We did expect it to be a big shootout here this afternoon, and that's the way it seems to be going. Ottens. This is Peckett. Didn't make an enormous effort to get rid of the ball, and quite frankly, he's a bit lucky on that occasion. But good to see Frankie Peckett back in the St Kilda lineup today. Kane Johnson. Very quiet so far. Luke Ball generating plenty of opportunities with the run with roll today. This is Newman as the Tigers forced to backpedal. Hardigan under the pump. Saints starting to swarm around the ball. David Roden, a late inclusion. Thought Andy Callaway might have found his way into the opening 18. Kane Johnson, handball, straight to Guerra, and once again, he must have mates sitting in that part of the crowd, I think, Brent Guerra, the way he's kicking.
Free kick to the Tigers. Zantuck playing at fullback. Nick Riewoldt this afternoon. Long towards Ottens. Good fist from Noble. Ball in dispute. Brown. Now a chance of Roden on the ground. Tivendale confronted by a couple of Saints going nowhere. And we'll get a ball up. It's very willing. Hamill and Johnson. Saints dominating contested possessions at the moment. Noble at the back. Harvey sweeping. Handball Graham. Nice little sidestep, and again, well played. Long towards the goal square. Riewoldt 1 out. Well done by Hall. He got back to lend a hand. Zantuck. Numbers with the Tigers. Bowden cleverly does it. Over the boundary line. And that's a concern for Saint fans, as Harvey comes from the ground to be replaced by Thompson. And just copped the hip there. So a boundary throw in, chance for Guerra. He can't release the football, and we'll get a bounce close to the St Kilda goal.
Still doesn't look too well in the square. It's Nick Riewoldt.
He copped the knee to the head, it looked like.
No, it's a hip, I think.
Backside, hip. Throw in, Hall doing the work. Thompson just on the ground. This will test out Riewoldt's reflexes, and his head as well as it struck the ground. The Tigers able to get away as Riewoldt talking to the umpire, trying to claim the mark. Good one-on-one battle on the wing here. Voss just shrugged off Thomas Roach. Got it away to Peckett, now ball. And this midfield dominance starting to tell at the Telstra Dome. Johnson goes to ground. Saints maintain possession. Montagna, interesting disposal to Guerra. Thompson. And a ball up.
Just one area the Saints are on top at the moment are at the stoppages. They're winning far too much of the ball.
There's another look at it. And then testing it out. That's Bowden. And there's a free kick and it's going Richmond's way, which is fortuitous for them because the Saints had numbers on that side of the contest and had already taken possession of the ball. This is Fleming. The kicks to the wing. Alton's got to work hard here. Drops short. He did well. Got it to ground. Watch out, Cracker. I'm not sure what he was doing bouncing. He had Saints players coming from every angle. And Baker found a path. And now Graham, who's been terrific, gets it going to Hayes. Now to Thompson. Kicks to the space. Revolt. Again, not this time. Again, he's got lots of Tigers to contend with. And it's Hall that takes it away into the half-back line. Tuck and now Bowden. But it's what the Tigers can do from here that's going to count.
Jackson back to Tuck. Long towards half-forward. It's all St.Kilda. Del Santo. Finding it tough to get to Richardson at the moment. The Tigers, Jones, true centre-half back position's got a loose player on the wing. It's Noble.
The Tigers have pushed Hall back to help Zantuck out with Revolt.
Noble gets around Cracker. Well played. Long towards Revolt again. He jumps third man up. Again, the Tigers have got numbers at ground level. Hartigan, handball to Fleming. He's able to get it to Tivendale. Back to Hartigan. Tigers out of trouble again for the moment. Kelvin Moore. Good tackle, though, by Ferguson. Voss again, the numbers with the Saints across half-back. Jones. Milne has got it between wing and half-forward. Controlling things at the moment, St Kilda. There's Revolt. Stevie Milne. Kick towards half-forward. Noble's drifted into the space. Well done by Fiora. Get the fist in there. Fleming. Now Tivendale. Devoid of options, so he handballs hurriedly to Bowden, who lets go of a torpedo towards half-forward. Jones gets back. Can't take the mark. And we'll get a boundary throw-in.
You just wonder, the Tigers can't possibly win if they play like this, Steve. The way they're playing, they can't get it past half forward.
Well, they had Moore there at centre half forward early on in this quarter. It actually worked quite well, but they still kept their centre half forward. But at the moment, they've lost their structure across their half forward line. They need at least one tall across the half forward line.
Can perfectly understand having Hall back to play in front of Revolt, but it's just a bit of a mystery as to how they expect to get the ball down to Richardson.
Well, just at the moment, Noble's actually having a rest up forward, and Hall has him. So they do have the two talls up in their forward half at the moment, the Saints, with Revolt and Noble.
At least they've got a chance here from this stoppage. Cracker, Johnson suddenly starting to find it. Did he get one in the back? He did. So here's a scoring opportunity for the Tigers. And it's going to Kane Johnson.
And we just saw Nathan Brown on screen, only had the one possession today.
Quickly into Richardson in the square. That's how they score goals. Into the third tier.
Well, he hasn't had too many chances. He's kicked a couple of goals, Matthew Richardson.
Well, he hasn't, but the beauty of all that, we just saw how quickly I think Johnson got back to get that ball in, and he had a one-on-one contest out of the goal square, Matthew Richardson. That's exactly what the Tigers need to do. Get it in nice and quickly.
Grant Thomas pleading. Why? So the margin back to just 2 points in favour of the Saints. They've controlled things in Kilda, but a goal against the flow to the Tigers. Roden dynamic out of the centre. Kick toward Richardson. Can't take the mark this time. Perhaps should have. They've still got a chance though, the Tigers. More. Can he use an option? He can. Fleming thought about it, decided against it. Too far out to score, Tim Fleming. Bangs it long though into the pocket. Richardson at the back. Can't. It's got to beat three of them. Baker taken high. Did it well, Baker, just almost ducked into the tackle and was able to get it off to Jones.
And now Noble from half-back. Help from Del Santo. Guerra wasn't even looking, turned around and found a gift on his chest. Once again, Hall back in front of Revolt. So Guerra waits the kick. He's got a real problem with it over Brett Guerra with his kicking. He's one of the most accurate kicks at goal in the competition, normally. But he's kicked two out in the full, and then this one here. Kicked 20 goals, 23 goals for the season, Brent Guerra. And once again, you can see the top left of your screen. Hall playing in front of Revolt. If the Saints do clear this. And likewise, Brett Voss is the spare man in defence for the Saints. As they make a change, Goddard comes on. Aussie Jones, leading possession winner on the ground. Along with quite a few of his midfield teammates. Blake into the ruck, and this is ball. And once again, Revolt having numbers to contend with. Well done by Bowden. And the clearing kick from Hartigan does set the Tigers up. They're going to have to carry the ball here. Fleming's got Brown inside. He goes longer for Ottens, who's at least providing them a target across half forward. Richo's deep. Johnson makes a lead out of the square, but he goes for Richardson. Voss has got back. And this is what the Bombers did last week. Richardson might have got a hand across the shoulder. Ball is bouncing through for a goal. Well, Richo, he can do it in the air and on the ground. And the Tigers are in front.
Oh, great play, Matthew Richardson. 2-on-1 contest, and he brought the ball to ground. Just watch him compete here. Brings the ball to ground, back on it nice and quickly. That's where he's very good. His reaction time, and puts through his third.
Well, Sosh, you made the point in the discussion before that they needed someone to present, and it was Ottens that time, so they actually had a path to go for it.
And if you have a look at the way Brisbane play, they always keep a centre-half forward and a full forward. They do push back into defence. That's why they keep keeping their structure up for their two tours, because you always need someone to kick to.
Noble. Fleming's made a difference since going into the centre, and we get another ball up as we look at Heath Black. Matthew Richardson, 3 already. His best ever haul at the Telstra Dome is 6, and that was back in year 2000, round 4. In fact, Richmond's first ever game at the Telstra Dome. Del Santo, kick towards half forward. Beautiful kick it was too. Milne, too far out to score. Revolt's got to beat a couple. He wants it long. Milne waiting for some sort of movement, waiting for him to lead. Now he leads, but it's so congested. Pass now to kick it on. Stephen Milne. Guerra is another chance. Brent Guerra lines up and kicks a beauty. Well, he's kicked 2 out on the full. He's missed a couple of targets in general field play, but what a goal that was from right on 50. And the Saints are back in front.
Well, it was a clever goal, wasn't it? It was the right option by Mill. But we just see Nick Revolt there on screen. The one thing he didn't stop doing was moving. So he was attracting players towards him. He knew he was the focus point, kept moving, and enabled Guerra to get free to kick that goal.
Entertaining opening at the Telstra Dome. Saints back in front. Harvey and Guerra. Chance for the Tigers. Roach and Cracker, some communication wouldn't have gone astray there. Fleming well played. Lingered long enough, but then lingered perhaps a fraction too long. And Del Santo able to clean up, and suddenly the Saints on the counter-attack. Surging forward, good use of handball. Ends with Graham, he's in trouble. Managed to get the hands free. Goddard crashing the ground. Aguero again. He's dangerous from there. Brent Guerra has got the radar on target finally. And the Saints give away again.
Yes, another great goal by Guerra. But if you go back to the mistake Tim Fleming made for Richmond, he looked to give a handball off on 2 occasions and then tried to get the quick kick. What he should have done was just get the quick kick into the Richmond forward line, and as a result, St Kilda got the ball. There was plenty of space. They were able to release with hands. Guerra was able to kick the goal.
Great disposal, 2 goals for Guerra. Yes, the first option, always the best, they say. Back in the centre, Noble up high, gets it down Harvey. Hayes picked it up brilliantly on the half volley. Mongrels it inside attacking, 50 Milt at the back. Can he control it? No. Revolt. Well done by the Richmond defence, they tie it up. And eventually we get a bounce. Excited St Kilda fans as we close in on quarter time. Blake against Jackson. Jackson has it, but wrapped up. A young man in his first game of AFL football. And Thomas reviewing notes as we get to within 17 seconds of quarter time. Ball this time. Jackson wins it. Hartigan in space. Chips towards the centre to a contest. And that's poor play. If you're going to kick to a contest, you might as well kick it 50 metres rather than 20 metres. Good mark taken by Ferguson. Harvey. Del Santo has been very good in this opening quarter. He'll run out of time, but a very entertaining opening quarter of football. And Steve, well, the Tigers showed something. The Saints go into quarter time with an 8-point lead, though.
Graham came off and Goddard spirited back into the action. Second quarter from the Telstra Dome, and it's the Saints 5-3, the Tigers 4-1. Del Santo reading the tap best and linking up straight away with Harvey and Black. And the Saints get the forward momentum. Here's Revolt on a good strong lead, perhaps going a bit too fast for his own good. And Roach gets it over the line.
Did pretty well there, Zantuck. If we get another shot of that, he just grabbed one of Revolt's arm, which just forced him to go for the mark with one hand.
Hartigan now with the job on Milne. You can see him just trying to stay on him there. Zantuck, Tivendale, Del Santo, Fiora. Ball goes close to the line and the Saints keep it in. Good work from Cracker. But Del Santo trying to take it away. Goddard squeezes the kick out straight to Ottens. And now this is Newman. Gee, plenty of height on the ball. And it gave Voss a great look in. And there's Saints everywhere inside 50. Roach has got to get back and help and get on Milne, who's loose at the moment. He'll be at the feet of Revolt. It mightn't even get there. It does, to the back. And Bowden. Oh, he went to ground. He had support. This is Roach. Oh, still they can't clear the area. The wall being built by the Saints. There was great fierce tackling, though, by the Tiger defence. As Del Santo went tumbling to ground, the ball is over and out.
Yes, the Roach kick across goal wasn't great. He did have two Richmond players free, but just failed to hit his target.
Ottens tries to get it down. Chance for Fleming. Good tackle on him by Guerra. Black wrapped up by Tuck. And we'll get a bounce. Stephen Baker on top of the Telstra player rankings.
And Nathan Brown, who we saw in shot there a moment ago, very quiet so far today. Only one possession.
And we've talked about the St Kilda tackling. Baker has actually laid 5 tackles.
Saints by 8 points. No addition to the quarter time score. Ottens taken though by the St Kilda captain Hayes. Hopeful handball into the path of Powell. And looks like we'll get another bounce. Just 35 metres from the St Kilda goals. We look at the Richmond interchange bench. David Roden, a late inclusion for Jay Schultz, who was ruled out.
Kane Pettiford back up in about 2 Chriso, which is good news for Richmond.
Ottens towards the line, didn't quite hit the ball. Tivendale's wrapped up. There's the St Kilda bench. Justin Peckett, game 210. Revolt up this time. Tried to get it to Power, but taken away from by Tivendale. Kicked towards half forward. Gee, going back. Good mark taken by Ferguson. Matthew Ferguson, his first game of the year. Goddard back in the side this afternoon. True centre half back position. Voss can play on. Good chase from Matthew Richardson. Didn't quite get there, but put enough pressure on the kick. Skews out wide. Revolt can't take it. Well, he can, but he can't control it inside the line. So this time a boundary throw in at half forward for the Saints. Noble tries to get it to the back. Blocked though by Ottens. Johnson at ground level. Wrapped up. Have a go, Hutto.
Yeah, not much happening out there, is there, at the moment? Ball seems to be locked in the St Kilda forward line. Saints can't get it through the middle. The Tigers can't get it out of there. Neither Noble nor Ottens getting much of the footy today, but Ottens gets it here and gets another crack at it. Quickly lays it off. Oh, he had a problem there. Quickly tuck. Hamill into the square. Revolt, great positioning of the body. Went to ground. Play on. Hardigan's got to be clean here. And he is. And this is Jackson across half back. He's got men running for him on the wing. One of them, Callaway. Suddenly had Voss at his back. Play on. No free kick was paid. And it comes back. And Callaway, who started the game on the bench, has got to move, get it moving quickly, while Richo's hasn't got much to beat. Voss, he's playing that role of getting back in front. Again, filling the void and doing well as the Saints control it out of the fence. And a man who often looks in complete control is Nick Del Santo, and he kept on running to receive. Gets it back to half forward. Suddenly there's plenty of spaces in the St Kilda forward line, but Hamill couldn't control it. Oh, Tivendale had a problem. Got out of it nicely. Tuck, and they start to move it well along the wing. Good to see some run here from the Tigers. Bowden's delivery is good. And again, Callaway is just playing as a wingman at the moment. Takes the mark, but he kicked it quickly, and Del Santo gets back.
Well, just something that I just noticed there with Richmond. All their play was on the wing. At not one stage did they look to try and go inboard to try and bring the ball through the corridor of the ground, which would make it a lot easier for Matthew Richardson, who's been forced to go wide.
And you can see that inside 50 discrepancy. So in some ways they've done very well on the scoreboard to be as close as they are, given it's 23-10 for inside 50s. Last week they dominated Essendon in that regard in the first half, but just couldn't put it on the scoreboard. They've been more efficient today. Ottens, this is Hyde. Tuck. Somehow they get it out the back, but still no clean possessions. And Tivendale on the bottom of that heap. You can have another go, Chris.
St Kilda dominating in the tackles. Haven't seen a score in this second term. Just 6 minutes old. Fleming off the ground. Towards half forward. Chance for Fiora, but he's bundled over, so a boundary throw in. Fairly uninspiring opening to the second term after a very entertaining opening quarter. Otten's in front. Chance for Cracker. Paddles to his own advantage. Handball wasn't effective to Tivendale. Another boundary throw in.
Just at the moment, Brett Voss is the free man for St Kilda inside the Richmond forward 50. At the other end of the ground, it's young Jackson who's the free man for Richmond.
So a boundary throw in. Otten's doing well in the hit-outs. Gets in front again and wins another one. Down to Tark. Be careful, he's in real trouble. Eventually got a handball away, but it was ineffective. Powell. Hayes. At half forward, he's got a loose player forward to the plate. Uses him. Milne gets around lane. Oh, he has a bounce. Fantastic stuff from Milne. Over to Greer. He runs in and kicks his third. Talk about uninspiring. That was a superb passage of play from the Saints.
Yeah, they've got plenty of pace, haven't they? One thing that the St Kilda team can do is run with the football. Stevie Milne is one of those players, and just really good to see him lay that ball off unselfishly to set up Guerra for that goal.
So Stephen Milne that time with the assist, and Brent Guerra putting through his third goal. The Saints extend the margin to 14. Nathan Brown thrust back into the thick of the action, but again the Tigers going backwards before they can go forwards, and it might never eventuate. It doesn't. Guerra to Harvey. Hayes over the top. Hamill. The floodgates may be about to open at the Telstra Dome. Terrific ball movement, but you can see the Tigers are on the back foot the whole way.
Well, they were, and they used their hands so well, St Kilda, and really they opened that space up. We saw Revolt just get out of the square, which allowed Hamill to run in and kick that easy goal.
The Saints 2 within a minute. And it's interesting, their 4 goal kickers this afternoon, along with Gehrig, have kicked 68% of their goals this year. So they've all got away to a good start. Powell, ball. Good pressure in the middle this time by the Tigers. Doesn't allow St Kilda to get the ball away, and eventually we get a bounce. Shane Tuck on the Richmond interchange bench alongside Kelvin Moore and David Roden. Noble and Ottens. Tigers need a goal. They need a forward 50 entry. That'd do for a start. Harvey, Powell. They all just run in numbers. Montagna just handballed wildly, but it fell to Peckett. Long towards Revolt. Can't take the mark. Milne at the back. What can he muster up here? Something brilliant, maybe. No. Not quite. Gee, it went close, though. Some electrifying stuff deep in the pocket from Stephen Milne. Margin out to 21 points. Just hand to boot very quickly and almost pulled off a remarkable goal.
Can feel the confidence coming back to this St Kilda unit down here, Chris O.
Yeah, they're looking threatening, Andrew, aren't they? Right down the middle with the kick in. They're hungry for the footy again. Well done by Bowden. The interception. Peckett. Oh, watch out. And Baker. Copying Andrew Cracker's fierce wrap around. Jones tries to plot a course through the middle. He does it successfully. Goddard. Look at Del Santo. In space. A bounce on the brink at half forward. Del Santo goes to Milne. He's gone away. And Revolt attracted all the attention then, didn't he?
Well, he did, but I just can't believe how Del Santo was just left unmarked out on the half-forward flank there.
Neither can he.
Just trying to find out who his direct opponent is. It might be young Fiora, but just can't allow Nick Del Santo.
Milne for his second. No problem.
Watch it again, Goddard, and there's that man, Steve, you were talking about, Del Santo. No one was within 30 metres, so he had so much time just to assess his options, and Stephen Milne was the one that was able to break free on the lead, and a good finish. Milne with 2. Danny Frawley. Well, St Kilda really dominated the last 5 or 6 minutes. Ottens again this time gets it down. Fiora going nowhere. Big pack of players. And we'll get a secondary bounce. Just the attacking side of the centre circle for St Kilda. Tiger fan just wondering what might happen from here. Ottens again trying very hard. Hyde just pushed off the football. Ottens goes in again, but well done by Harvey. Robbed it from him. Robert Harvey kicks out wide. Mark taken. Milne again. Just outside 50. There's Revolt. Santuk's done a very good job because he just hasn't even allowed him really to lead. Now he's on the lead. Little bit of couple. Zantuk cut the angle. Did it brilliantly. Well played, Ty Zantuk. Newman, dangerous. Well done by Peckett, put the pressure on. Bowden, they've got the numbers, Tigers. Can they get out of trouble? Tivendale. Pettifer goes back into the nest. Wriggles free. Did well, kept his head. Bowden. Brown, look out. Tivendale, they're under extreme pressure, Richmond. Tivendale kicks. Mark taken by Voss.
Gee, they're under the pump, the Tigers. All their numbers virtually back in the defensive half to try and stop this potential avalanche. Bowden working overtime. High kick from Roach is a good one to win. Now, can they carry the ball all the way? Fiora, he's got a man to link with that centre half forward. Hall's kick to Richardson. And he's got 3 Saints around him. He's got no support at all. And he kicks it into the crowd.
Good spoil from Fisher. As you said, Hutto, no support. 3-on-1 there.
Well, unless he takes the mark straight away, he's in trouble.
Well, there's no crummers, are there? Richmond pulling a lot of their players behind the ball, so they're really left out with Matthew Richardson inside their forward 50 at the moment.
Fisher. Long kick towards Noble. Fist from Ottens. Saints try and bring it away through Thompson, but unsuccessfully, so a bounce at half forward.
What do you do if you're Danny Frawley right now, Sauce?
Oh, well, you just got to hope that his senior call of players just try and lock this game up for the next 5 or 10 minutes and just reassess where they're at come half time.
Harvey. Longless. Along the wing. Revolt. Long way from full forward. Kick towards half forward. Kellaway. Steve, maybe the answer is not play the loose man back, but to be more attacking, because they're not winning the way they're playing.
Yeah, well, I'm not a real fan of playing a loose man down back. I'm pretty much, I think, with this young Tigers side, it's one-on-one football, and really that's the way you're going to learn your position.
Newman. Jackson. Oh, ordinary kick. Well done by Baker. Cracker but crumb. Well played. Roach just jams it onto the boot. Bouncing. There's that spare man. Voss all by himself. He uses it poorly though. Fleming. Here's a chance. Fiora. Can he find a target? No, straight over the head of Richardson.
And really,
there
that's
was 5 metres in the clear.
And that's really what's come to the fore at the moment with Richmond. Some of their skill errors, I mean, particularly coming out of their back line, they've failed to hit their targets. And this one here should have really hit Matthew Richardson on the chest. So it's been their skill errors and decision-making which has really let them down.
Well, here they are, deep in attack. Cracker, somehow to Johnson, who tries to conjure up a goal. Richardson takes the mark. It looked like it was over the line.
Fantastic grab.
He plays on and misses anyway. Well, the adventures of Matthew Richardson, we love them. Which are looking for a replay, so are we. Yeah, a bit hard to tell from here.
Boundary umpire and goal umpire certainly in very, very good position. Saints bring it around the wing. Ferguson. Hoists it high towards half forward. Noble in front. Fist at the back from Bowden was effective. Into the path of Newman. Also Fiora. Blumfield back to Brown. Chips. Roden. Tigers, can they find a way forward? Nathan Brown getting it back, drills it low and hard onto the chest. That was a great kick. Kellaway playing up forward. Who started on the bench, Andy Kellaway, and a bit of a surprise given lack of height in the Richmond defence. Uses Brown again. Nathan Brown, can he find a target? No, chopped off. Well done by Jones from half back. Milne has to sit and wait. Good pressure coming from Hartigan. No free kick there. You get a boundary throw in on the wing.
So the Tigers at least have had a bit of the ball in the last 5 minutes, but they haven't been able to find a way to get it either to Matthew Richardson or through the middle themselves. Hall doing the ruck work to himself. And ball up the result of that. One thing looking at last week with the way they brought the ball into 50, it was almost always a kick, usually to Richardson, probably 65% of the time to Richardson. Very rarely was it a midfielder running through and having a shot from inside 50 or around 50, Steve.
Yeah, well, that's a fair point, and we've looked at today, a lot of their balls come from the wing, not through the midfield, which that really does make it difficult to find a target. Bring it through the corridor, and your angles do open up.
Aussie Jones. And Harvey on the overlap. He's got Thompson inboard. He's got Revolt back in the square, and that's where he's headed. And Jackson would be giving the Tigers fans something to take home with them. Young kid from Carey Grammar, who's only played 3 or 4 games in the VFL. This is Roden. And finding a target has been the problem in around about this area on the ground. Now, can Bowden hit one? At least this gives them some time to organise a few more options rather than just rushing it down there. And turning it over. Pettifer. Fiora. It's a very, very busy part of the ground. Aussie Jones just overcooked the pass in. As the game just degenerating a little bit.
I'm tipping Aaron Fiora is going to come off the ground. He's made 3 poor errors.
4-1. Surely the Tigers can prevail out there. Fiora. Just lingering, waiting till he can try and hit Richo. He's going to go for the square himself. I'm not sure what he was thinking. Richo looks back in disgust about 30 metres out from goal. And the Saints can run it away again. And Richo lets out his frustrations on Jason Blake. And the downfield free, the result of it. As the umpire lets play go on and Revolt takes it. Callaway getting back now as the loose man to try and get in front of Aaron Hamill. But Hamill not able to take the mark. And the ball is out of bounds.
Got to admire him, Hutto. He's working that hard, Aaron Hamill. He's clearly under a lot of duress. He's got the protective padding under the jumper. He's got a bad leg, bad ribs, and he just stays out there and works as hard as any player on the ground.
Boundary throw in St Kilda. Into attack. Ball to the back. Chance for Blumfield. Ottens, they're under pressure. Hayes couldn't quite get the handball clear. Tivendale gives it up. Blumfield somehow got it to Brown. Back towards Hub. Fiora couldn't quite hold on numbers with the season. Now there's a shepherding free kick. A free kick to the Tigers. Advantage page. They're lucky there. Andy Cracker runs through the middle of the dome. Kicks it to the chest of Richardson. No. Voss got across again. Numbers with the Saints. Ferguson. Oh, he put it down. Jackson stood up in the tackle. Got it to Johnson. Newman. Hall had too much on it. Oh, Del Santo. Cool in the crisis. Baker. From backward of the wing. Kicks towards half forward. Noble got the push. He signifies that to the umpire, but the mark is paid to Watkins. And Steve, I tell you, Matthew Richardson, Brett Voss is doing a wonderful job dropping back on him. I think they've just got to go man on man.
I just like to see at least 2 Tigers coming out of the goal square.
Trouble for Roden. Callaway's been busy. Try marking that one if you're a forward. Bowden will, and so will Moore. And well done by Johnson, but once again the roadblock provided by Voss. Richardson to try and wrap up Jones, but Blake will get them clear. And once again the Saints can build off half-back. This is Powell. He's got options galore through the middle. They're lining up there. Mark taken by Blake. Over to Black. Revolt's gone away to the left. Black might go all the way himself. From 55, Heath Black winds up and misses.
You can just see the frustration, Chris, with Matthew Richards at the moment. He's left one-on-one out of the goal square, but you have got Voss standing about 20 metres in front. If they put another Richmond forward out of the goal square, at least it makes Brett Voss think about 2 leads, 2 different players coming out of the goal square. So just at the moment, he knows it's a Matthew Richardson lead.
Zanta gives it straight up to Ball, who chips it short, and Revolt marks in the pocket. And Ty Zanta, you can just see his frustration there because it's his man that's got the football. And Luke Ball read it superbly. Kick just sat in the air, kept his head and just chipped it over the top to Revolt. And will come in for his 3rd. He likes it. 3 to Revolt. So a poor skill error in the defensive 50 for the Tigers.
Well, it's been
resulting in a simple goal.
Yeah, it's been the story of this game, really. Richmond have I think they've had a crack, but it's just been their skill errors and this decision-making which have let them down. And once again, coming out of their back half, another poor skill error, and Revolt has made them pay.
Danny Frawley and all Tigers, particularly Matthew Richardson, must be extremely frustrated with what they're seeing at the moment. The Saints 9-5, the Tigers 4-2. Going back to last year, the Saints have won 12 in a row now at Telstra Dome by an average of 56 points. as Blumfield gets it out of the middle. This one certainly seems to be headed that way. Johnson back to Cracker. Can the Tigers control the ball through the middle? Here's a chance for them. Nathan Brown. Now he's a goal kicker. He loves the Telstra Dome, and he hits the post. Had a couple of shots last week that just missed the mark, and he's had a quiet day today, but his second quarter's been a lot better than the first. He's had 8 possessions and 1 behind so far, Nathan Brown. 1.5 minutes remaining in this first half of footy.
Fisher. Blake. Overlap from Ball. Roden has him, but he's able to get the handball away. Powell. Now Harvey, he chips out wide. Black. He's able to play on as Tivendale slipped over. Heath Black. Hits it strong towards Revolt. He's got the sit in the mark. It was a great kick coming in from Black, Steve, because it just gave Revolt the chance to really run at the football and attack it, and he was able to deliver by taking the mark.
Yeah, and I think the thing about Black, he had a bit of time too, just to wait for the Nick Revolt lead. Always knew he was going to go to the hot spot.
Well, he's directly in front, and that's exactly what he looks at, and he pops through his fourth, and the Saints are further in front. So after 7 or 8 minutes of resistance from Richmond, St Kilda all of a sudden kicked 2 goals in a minute. The margin now out to 38 points.
Yes, and I guess once again it's the class of St Kilda. This man here just looks in super form at the moment, and when the ball's coming in like that, there's not much Ty Zantuck can do.
Grant Thomas munching away. Doesn't eat solids these days, does he, Grant? I think he only has the juices. Danny Frawley motionless. Half-time can't come quick enough as this margin has blown out to 38, and you just worry about what might happen in the second half. Been a long time since they've kicked a goal, and to be honest, it's been a fair while since they've looked like kicking one. 65-27. Brown onto the wing, maybe Fiora, Tivendale, and now Blumfield. He adjusts his kick, so that's well played. Unfortunately, time will be the enemy here, and Moore gets it to Johnson right on the side to end a pretty forgettable half of footy for the Tigers. They're having a crack, that's for sure, but they just can't find the Stradome. Noble and Ottens ready to go at it. And Roden starting in the middle. Callaway looks like he's going to play at centre half forward in this second half. Brett Voss. So they organise themselves out of defence. So far it looks like it's one-on-one all over the ground, although we mightn't get the true story until a minute or so goes past.
Danny Frawley's actually put Nathan Brown at full forward to assist Matthew Richardson.
Well, Luke Ball held up, and he's got Baker still as his opponent, so it's probably not a bad idea. This is Hamill. The question's going to be, can the Tigers get it down there? Because the Saints dominating, 10 goals, 5 to 4-3. No immediate options. He goes very long to Rewald, but didn't get near it. And Ottens gets back. Bowden. Fiora. This is Newman. Tigers being patient, they had to be. Oh, back to Ottens.
Got Pettifer free.
Yeah, he has on the wing, but he doesn't see him, so he has to go back to Bowden. It's good for building their stats, but not much more at the moment. Now, he can go to Hyde around the corner. He was forced onto his right foot, but Hyde's got time and space to work in. He's got Kane Johnson away to his left, and he wants to get back and give it to him. He does that okay. Johnson can go to Moore if he can spear it to him, which he does. Brown and Richardson are deep. Got a man at centre half forward. Fiora, though, was behind Goddard. And at the end of all that mucking around, the Tigers couldn't hit a target. And Goddard can swing it out wide and find Heath Black.
Black at half-back, kicks on towards Riewoldt, who's got it just in front of the wing. Kicked 4 in the first half. Long way from home. He kicks towards half-forward. Noble in front, couldn't take the mark at the back. Beautifully done. Shot at goal from Jones and just misses. Was able to get to the back, Aussie Jones. Margin now out to 39 points in favour of the Saints.
Best player on the ground today wins the Ian Stewart Medal, named in the honour of a great of both these clubs, named in both teams Team of the Century, and of course winning Brownlows with each club and premiership, so it's a magnificent record. Set a task down for Hall. He did pretty well to defend in the end in the direction of Newman, but he is overwhelmed by numbers. Hayes with class darts away, gives it to Milne. Hamill's all on his own. Riewoldt doubled back, and he can line up for his 5th.
Stephen Powell coming off the ground, boys. Looks like he's jarred an ankle or perhaps even a knee.
Well, he passed it over the top to Guerra. Tiger defence in disarray as Guerra kicks his 4th.
Well, once again, the Tigers get caught out on the rebound. We just see St Kilda bring the ball in. That's the Stephen Powell injury, but it was Lenny Hayes who set this up. Tigers defenders were on the back foot. Riewoldt gets away.
Danny Frawley issuing directions. The margin now out to 45 points. I wonder whether we've got another 100-point thrashing coming. The hands of the Saints at the Telstra Dome. To half-forward, good mark taken by Moore. They've manned up in the forward line in this quarter, Richmond. Kick towards Brown. Well done by Baker. Work to the front. Was first to recover. He's got assistance. Harvey. Goddard sits and waits. Del Santo. Ball. Clever little sidestep. Forced, though, in the end to give it back to Del Santo, who chips to centre-half back Noble. So they're hoping to maintain their composure. St Kilda under some pressure in their defensive 50. Jones. Ferguson, they work it out methodically. Long towards half-forward. Riewoldt on a long lead. Marks 10 metres in front of Zantuck. Can get on with it. Pickett's dropped back in behind the defence. Runs to 49. Kicks to the goal square. Milne, 1 out. Free kick. Against Hartigan.
Like to see that again.
Well, you will.
That's it there.
Couple of arms at different stages draped over the shoulder. Unsure that it impeded him that much, but certainly his arms were there. Milne pops it through. Saints by 51. So again, Steve, they took their time working it out of defence, but once they did, very, very good attacking football by St Kilda.
Yeah, I think once they get the ball and they've made their mind, they do get the ball in nice and quickly. They hit the right targets, right options. And Milne, well, we know what he's like when he gets the ball. Always a very good shot at goal.
Well, Saints fans were holding their breath a little before today, but they'd be well satisfied at the moment. Noble out of the middle, but Otten's lost it to Harvey. They bundle it forward again. Tivendale, courage needed, courage required, but he couldn't take it. Pickett, well tackled by Tivendale. Move it on long cross at the foot of Stephen Milne. Just a little pause for the moment, and then Riewoldt again. Just couldn't hang on to it. Tigers just looking at each other to work out who was going to take it away. Zantuck and now Bowden, who must be getting sick of kicking the footy. That's his 20th possession. Onto the wing. Fiora, good touch there on Black. Not such good touch off the boot though. It bounces once and goes over. A shake of the head again from Richo. Stephen Powell, some more concerns.
Yeah, they've taken the boot off Hutto. I doubt very much he'll be coming back on today. It does look like they're giving it some a decent look over and giving him some concern.
Saints 78, Tigers 27 have come to a grinding halt. There's a whistle and it's a free to Noble for some hanging on this time. Over to Goddard. Alton's had fallen back off the contest, so he was the extra man on the wing. Takes the mark. Nothing immediately obvious for him. He might be forced to kick long. Now he's got Callaway at centre-half forward. He hasn't spotted him. Some hesitation in the end. The kick was run down. Montagna. Aussie Jones to half forward. And Reebok much more prepared to run up the ground in this half so far, Steve.
Yeah, well, I've watched him closely in this game. He is prepared to come up the ground and then work back to the goal square. He just doesn't play out of the goal square. He will work his defender over. Obviously a very good runner.
Richmond in the first quarter led St Kilda 4-3. The Saints with the last 9 goals of the match. Johnson, Roden, cleverly gathered. He's away. Couple of bounces. Good chase low by Peckett. Kick inside, attacking 50. Brown, well done by Baker. Brown recovers brilliantly at ground level. Snaps goal, but well offline. So, free kick to St Kilda. Fisher. Done a reasonable job. Sam Fisher hasn't had much to do because the ball just hasn't been in Richmond's attacking 50. Long to halfback. Big leap from Noble. Hyde. Cracker. Good little give. Well done. They work it through. Roden now to Bowden. Chips it poorly off the side of the boot. Cracker. Kept his head down. Roach. Wrapped up immediately, going nowhere. Get a bounce. So a chance here for the Tigers. Rahal gets it down, but taken by Harvey. As we look at Stephen Powell, the smile, hopefully not too bad. That ankle injury. Noble decisively, brilliantly taken by Johnson, but he just lost the handle. Chance for Cracker. Threads it back. Hyde, a quick snapper goal with the left boot. Richardson almost. Can he control it? Matthew Richardson gets his arms through, tried to get boot the ball. There's about 5 St Kilda players on top of him. And we'll get a bounce. And as we look at the Richardson tackle, gee, they came from all points of the compass to drag him down. 10 metres from the Tiger goal. Now there's a free kick. Which way will he go? Advantage paid. So into St Kilda. Jones, the end of a couple of handballs, brilliantly delivers into the chest of Peckett, who's got it at half back for the Saints. Harvey kept running. Inside Jones, he also kept running. Something that's been missing from the St Kilda game over the last 5 weeks. Jones with a bounce. Long to centre half forward, in from the side, almost the big mark to Mill. The ground level chance for Guerra has been very good today. And we'll get a bounce 45 metres from the Saint goal.
It's interesting just to watch that passage of play. Richmond players had plays behind the ball, but there wasn't one player that actually came up to the ball carrier to try and pressure him.
Thompson gets the wide hand pass. This is Peckett. And you can see the result. The stats ticking over in the top left-hand part of your screen. And the Saints On most of those indicators, well in front, and on the most important of them all, it's a comfortable margin, 12-6 to 4-3. I'm sure the stats on slipping over, but the Tigers making some pretty ordinary errors at the moment. Look at that tackle count, 42 to 18.
And you just really sense from the first bounce, St Kilda came into play to put the opposition under pressure, something they've lacked over the last month.
Joel Bowden, 21 possessions today, 13 kicks and 8 handballs. Certainly after being dropped earlier in the year, he's had a resurgence. Now, free paid against him.
That's worthy of a free kick.
Sauce, that's embarrassing.
Brown's kick just had a little bit too much on it for Hyde, who had nowhere to hide as he fell over. Pettifer streaming through the middle. A little better from the Tigers. Once again, Richo and Hall have to confront a lot of St Kilda players. Comes to ground. Hall getting it back. This is Callaway. Pettifer. And it just sneaks it in.
He had to kick that to the top of the goal square under pressure, but blazed away.
Yeah. Well, one thing's very evident with this, we just see a little bit up. That's the free kick. That's very, very soft. But one thing which is very evident with Richmond is that a lot of their players they're prepared to receive the ball, but there's not too many out there prepared to put a block on, which is going to give their teammate a couple of extra steps to make sure they hit the target.
Now, Daniel Jackson dragged that back in, and probably a little lucky he wasn't penalised. Playing his first game for Richmond this afternoon, the 18-year-old. He's done a couple of very handy things. Brilliantly done by Roden. Chuck the noble tap inside, attacking 50 only just, and again Voss getting back, prepared to leave his man. He's playing on Kelvin Moore and get across to assist Fisher. The kick to Harvey gave Roden a look in. He was able to get a hand on it and force a boundary throw in. So good result there for the Tigers.
Roden's done a couple of nice things from the stoppages today. He's had 3 clearances and 9 possessions.
Yes, obviously a player that has been down on form for the Tigers, but good to see him back in this side.
Noble, great tap down to Hayes. Peckett, Harvey running hard. Sweeps the handball out wide. Ferguson thumps it long. Hamill in front. Needs to stand his ground. Well done by Bowden. Ties up the footballs. A push in the back there against Revolt, but not paid. And a bounce eventually 40 metres from St Kilda's goal. Molly Meldrum, who was the man who came up with the idea of having the Ian Stewart medal. Chance on the goal line. Well done by Mill. Back towards Hayes, who shows strength under the football. Gee, had some pressure there, Lenny Hayes, but his hands were strong. And he's marked just 20 metres from goal.
Great mark, great kick by Stephen Mill. And Lenny Hayes would have known that he had to get to that spot. He was committed, but great little kick. I reckon 2 years ago, Stephen Mill would have probably had a shot at goal.
So Lenny Hayes just kicked the 3 goals for the year. Should add to his tally here. As good as directly in front, he pops it through. Margin 56 points. And you're right, Steve, just that sole focus of getting the ball back to the top of the square, which Pettifer didn't do at the other end.
Oh, that's right, and just tells you that the team is drilled very well. And we just saw after Lenny Hayes kicked the goal that a number of the St Kilda players got across to Stephen Milne and let him know what a wonderful kick he did.
Pretty hard to read the emotions inside the Richmond box at the moment. But they have stopped, and the Saints continue to surge forward. Lenny Hayes once again off the left. Revolt's got a bit of a run this time, but Hamill trying to juggle it, and the mark has been paid. So the current captain kicking to the former captain.
Did he have enough of that?
I think he controlled it.
4 or 5 taps.
It's a square up, Sauce, admit it.
A square up for the free kick against him.
No doubt.
Same umpire.
Not sure anybody sought your opinion down there, Andrew, but anyway.
Just thought I'd offer it anyway, Hutto.
Here's Hamill. He converts.
Well, here it is again. What do you think, Chriso?
Well, I don't know that he ever controlled it, but I reckon he had 4 or 5 little touches at it, so why not?
Very professional answer, Mike.
One of those 50-50s. So margin now out to 62 points. Hamill has 2. And it's getting a very ugly scoreline. The Saints have kicked the last 11 goals of the match. Harvey tries to get it out. Cracker scrambles it forward, but in front, Ferguson. Been very impressive this afternoon, Matthew Ferguson. Kicks out wide, so is this man. Frankie Peckett draws Fiora. Hayes again involved. Gets around Bowden, kick around the body. Blake got it deep in the pocket. He's got players everywhere. Milne calls for it, that's ignored. Now he's been forced to go round on the angle. So a difficult shot here for Jason Blake, who today is playing his 50th game of AFL football. Couple of steps, tries to thread it through the eye of the needle and just misses.
It's interesting when you look at St Kilda's goal kickers, as we've seen for much of the year, their goals primarily come from their forwards, which I know is natural enough, but you look at it, 4 goals to Guerra, 4 to Revolt, 2 to Hamill.
And 3 to Milne.
And 3 to Milne. So I think they would like to see more goals come from their midfield. At the Telstra Dome, it seems like it works well enough for them, but maybe that's one of the reasons why they struggle elsewhere. Just a theory. Onto the wing, Hamill takes a good strong grab. Pokes it inside 50. And cut off well by Hartigan, who's got Callaway. Cracker. 91-28. Richardson's up around the 50. He's calling for the ball along the boundary. Cracker says, I'm going to go long. Oh, he takes him on. Gains about 15 and then goes for a torp. Richo with Roden at his toes. Jones hot on his heels. And well worked away by Fisher.
Oh, well done.
Black. Hamill's one-on-one inside 50. A little nudge came from Bowden. Barging through ball into the pocket. Another one coming up. Pickett. Oh, barged over the line. Well done. And he can have a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, and we just saw the way St Kilda ran that ball out of their back half. I think it was Black who carried the ball from half back. He brought it through to the midfield, through the corridor, and that's something that Richmond do not do. They continually go wide, and they cannot find their centre-half forward.
Brown got it from Cracker, centre-half back. Kick out wide, Richardson. Voss going back with courage, as he so often has done this afternoon. Fiora tucks it under the arm. He's got some toe, chips it short. Richardson's got it. And he'll kick from, well, probably just inside 50, but as you can see, the angle acute. So it will require his best kick from there Good play by Fiora, who's tried hard, has made some mistakes, but certainly having a go. Matthew Richardson kicked 3 in the opening quarter. And scraps it in 4 are behind. So 3 goals to the tally for Richmond full forward.
(14-8 to 4-4). Ferguson. After Del Santo. 16 possessions for Nick Del Santo to Revolt. So it's fair to say the sting's gone out of this game already. Don't look at me like that, Michael. I think that's a fair comment, isn't it?
Starting to go.
Tigers and Saints still battling hard here. Kane Johnson. Can't believe the free kick that was paid. Goes to ball. Hamill looks the man most likely to take that one. He couldn't quite. Battling on Bowden, but Hamill got it to Hayes. Good tackling from Tivendale. Callaway, and now Tuck. This is Roach. And Baker, who's been terrific this afternoon, gets it over.
Just since quarter time, St Kilda have kicked 9 goals, 5. Richmond have kicked 4 behinds. So really struggled to get the score on the scoreboard. The Tigers forced wide by just the St Kilda pressure.
Blake gets it to Peckett, trying to fend off. Play on's the call. Ball in dispute. Hayes picks it up. Black slipped over in the motion of kicking, but they've got numbers, St Kilda. Baker, Peckett, the old tumbling handball. You don't see that often. Ball, Montagna in towards Hamill. Can't take the mark. Pressure coming from Bowden. Montagna follows up. It gives it straight back up to Tivendale. From half-back, delivers to the wing. Otten's over his head. Lets St Kilda back in. Black. Jones. Just tucks it under the arm and puts a foot down. Well played. Oh, Baker. Gee, was that a legal shepherd? Yes, it was. Hayes. Luke Ball. Delivers towards Mill. Good fist coming from Hartigan. Jackson, little toe poke across the ground. Now, what's happened here? There's a free kick coming back. It'll come back to the Richmond Football Club. And come back to Jackson. Umpire Matthew Head awarding the free kick to the first gamer. Wobbles it out wide, straight over the head of his captain for the day, Kane Johnson. Good time to recover, just delivers short. Tuck. He's got it between wing and half back for the Tigers.
And there's more taking the mark. Straight back to a very busy intersection on the wing. And the turnover goes to Jones. This is Hayes with purpose from 50 onto the chest of Nick Revolt.
And Michael, once again, the poor decision making in the middle of the ground by the Tigers put themselves under pressure. The turnover happens and the rebound comes out to Lenny Hayes, who has exceptional skills, and Nick Revolt on the lead is very difficult to stop.
Hayes has been great in this quarter, particularly as Revolt kicks his 5th. Handy return to follow up his 9 from last week. Be interesting when Gehrig returns, won't it, to watch how they set up?
Yeah, I think they've got to take Revolt back out to centre half forward, but obviously they can do the rotation when they're in a bit of trouble. But Revolt been in outstanding form over the last month.
Revolt there, third-ranked player on the ground.
And Lenny Hayes, of course, has had a few question marks hanging over his head that his form's dropped off, particularly over the last 3 to 4 weeks. Has had a sensational game today.
Fleming fighting hard for Richmond. Johnson back to Tuck. Little give to Tivendale towards half forward. Numbers with the Saints again. Richardson battling on valiantly. Play-on's the call. They hope to get enough numbers across Richmond just to tie it up at their half-forward line as we close in on three-quarter time. Nick Revolt has kicked 5 today. There's only his best before last week, where he kicked 9, was 6. That's the only time he's kicked more than 5. So a nice little purple patch here. Revolt beautifully taken. Fleming just bangs away goalward. Otten's at the back with the set and the mark. Well done, Brad Otten's just got Noble underneath the ball. Always was in good position as the high ball from Fleming came in and needed a couple of grabs. Was able to keep his eye on the football and will kick Richmond's 5th goal, and that will break a run of 12 consecutive goals kicked by St Kilda. 26-minute mark of the first quarter, the Tigers led by 4 points. They had 4 goals on the board to 3. Since then, it's been all St Kilda. Then he comes from point-blank range and he pops it through. So Otten's with his first, and the Tigers finally, after a long absence, kick their 5th goal of the match.
Well, yeah, as you said it, Michael, they've struggled to find the targets up there. It wasn't until the first quarter where they've kicked a goal until
59 minutes it's taken.
59 minutes, quite incredible. Well, they just haven't won enough of the ball. Something's happened behind field here.
It's an umpire injury down here, boys. We've seen a few of these this year, and it's D. Goldsby in the hands of the trainers.
Was it player contact, or is it just a hamstring or something, Andy?
There's a rogue seagull flying around down here, Chris Owen. I think it might have collected him along the way.
Well, it's his mouth. He's got blood coming from his mouth, so...
I honestly didn't see the contact, and I don't think there is a rogue seagull flying.
Oh, dear. No, this will be interesting to hear what comes out of this, because Darren Goldspink leads the ground under the blood rule. You don't often see that.
Just waiting for the replacement umpire to come onto the ground.
He's ready to go.
Receiving a great amount of sympathy down here from the patrons too, Darren Goldspink, I might say.
Darren Morris, that is coming onto the ground. There's Grant Thomas. Had his 300th, of course, a couple of weeks ago, Darren Goldspink. 15-8 to 5-5, 63 points. The margin cut to after that Otten's goal. And that will be the margin at three-quarter time.
Well, the Saints win the quarter once again, 5 goals to 1. Really totally dominant in that third quarter. Nick Revolt, of course, on top. Milne's been exceptional, working very well with his co-forwards.
All right, last quarter.
We shouldn't be starting here, Hiddo. There's a policeman on the ground out here at the moment, so I'm not sure whether we should be bouncing the ball with a police officer on the ground.
He's turned his back on it too. He's got no interest.
Good to see you've got all the important issues covered, Andrew.
Well, I'm not sure that should have been happening, should it? He was wandering out, picking up some utensils that he's now handing over to one of the umpire's assistants. So
reluctantly handing over to
just as well.
Was that a syringe?
I think it might have been a clipper.
We'll get an update from you on Darren Goldspink's condition, Andrew, if we can.
Yeah, it was an accidental headbutt from David Roden, believe it or not. They were looking different directions after the goal had been kicked, and Darren Goldspink ended up with a pretty severe split in the bottom lip.
An accidental headbutt.
Believe it or not. Clash of heads, I should say.
He's boxing on, Darren Goldspink. Ottens. Jackson. Cracker. Del Santo, just sure ball handling, but the Saints turn it over. Roden, quick to release it, tuck with the fumble. Montagna, Harvey, just thrusting it forward. Peckett can go to ball or go longer and wider. Intended for Black, fluky bounce inside the 50. Milne just sits on his Richmond opponent, and they're happy with the result. There's David Roden, and there's Darren Goldspink.
And just a slight concern on the St Kilda bench, Hutto. Jason Graham's been having back spasms. They're not too bad, but they haven't brought him back onto the ground.
Umpire head, perfect bounce. Oddens. We're going nowhere. Tackle from Pettifer as we look at the St Kilda bench. Thompson, Graham, as Andy just mentioned, Stephen Powell with an ankle complaint, and Jason Blake. Ottens again, Sano third minute, swirls to Guerra, who toe pokes at Goldwood. Tivendale just arches the back, enough to get a handball away. Fiora, dangerous kick across to Pettifer, kept his head, well done. Short to Fleming, overlap provided by Tuck. He just bangs away towards half forward. Richo's got a better couple again as he has for most of the afternoon. Little slip. Richardson from 40, kicks at Goldwood and hits the post. Unlucky.
Well, better running from Richmond through their half-back line. It was Brown that carried the ball and went long.
Well-placed kick for Brett Voss.
Gee, Voss has been good getting back on to compete against Richardson, hasn't he? He's been fantastic.
Yeah, he's done it to perfection.
Luke Ball relishing the space. So is Nick Rewald. Got himself into a little bit of trouble, but got out of it quickly. Hamill has presented well. Bowden. Looking for his 22nd possession. This is Pettifer. Into the lap of Hayes. Creative handball. Hayes back to Black, who just pinpoints the pass for Del Santo. Just love watching him play. That time he was surrounded by Tigers. One of them, Thomas Rhodes, trying to work out which way to go. His left foot takes the ball out of the wing, but Baker just eased onto it.
Kane Johnson and Heath Black having a blue back here, boys.
Saints reset on the wing. Del Santo can kick it down to half forward. He's got a loose man. Harvey, he's got plenty of loose men. One of them's Milne. And he can line up for yet another shot at goal. Kicked 3 goals, 1 for the afternoon, Stephen Milne. Just doesn't quite bring it back enough. So the Saints just about hitting the ton. 15-9-99 to 5-6-36.
Tivendale gets to Johnson. Captain this afternoon, Kane Johnson, in the absence of Wayne Campbell. And of course, Darren Gasper also out. Nominated vice captain. Kicks it high, Otten's the target. Fist from Noble. Jones. Hayes links very well with Del Santo. Wants his left side around Fleming. Drills the pass. Couple of options. Well played though by Pettifer. Aggressive punching. Brown. Handball right into the face of Baker. Roach, good handball. Cracker finds himself in trouble. Somehow got to Roden, who puts it under the arm and takes them on. One way, then the other. He's got Richardson short and just showed enough with the ball to Fisher. And the St Kilda side away again. Harvey. Goddard. Kicks up towards half forward. The target Hamill. Well done by Fiora. Got a hand in. And over the boundary line. Andy Cracker just a little dazed. Boundary throw in between wing and half forward for the Saints. And that was the Cracker incident.
34,631 the crowd at the Telstra Dome this afternoon. Let's have a look at it. Heath Black.
Unlucky not to get a free kick there, Cracker.
He makes him stick, Heath Black, doesn't he, Sos?
Oh, he does. He's aggressive and that's his style. But the umpire right on the scene, there's no doubt that was a free kick to Cracker.
There's ball. Pickett. Del Santo. Hamill's deep. gives away the free that time. Advantage paid.
Yeah.
Not sure what advantage it ended up being. Swift hands from Johnson out to Hartigan. He's got Roach short, or Pettifer at centre-half back. Gave it plenty of air, and the mark's going to be paid to it's paid to Del Santo. Over the top. Put it out in front of Mill. Let's see how he goes. Stevie Mill to bring some excitement back to the Telstra Dome. Off for the left, you're guilty. Come on, boys.
Well, you called it, Hutto. Certainly, this man is an excitement machine, and he did get you excited there. Thank goodness for that.
I tell you what, though, one thing that has changed, when he kicks a goal, watch this, he kicks the goal, he doesn't celebrate. In the past, he's run away to the crowd with arms. Look at him, not even hardly an emotion, just a little high five. So Milne has 4, and Danny Frawley looks on pensively. It's been a tough day at the office. Noble gets it down towards Hayes, who's wrapped up, and a secondary bounce.
Just further to what I was saying earlier, now 5 goals to Revolt, 4 goals to Milne, 4 goals to Guerra, and 2 goals to Hamill. And coming into this game, those 4 had 170 of the 252 goals St Kilda have kicked for the season. That's with Gehrig as well, of course.
Jackson spirals it towards Richardson, who marks, runs on, needs to kick it quickly and does. It's kick 4. So some joy at last for Tiger fans. Matthew Richardson kicks his 4th.
Yeah, and young Jackson there, I believe, got that out of the middle, and one of the few times Richmond had actually won a centre square clearance, and you have a target like Matthew Richardson up there, you're every chance. But well done to young Jackson.
So Richardson kicks his 4th, as you mentioned, Steve. Young Jackson has shown a bit today, 9 possessions for the Tigers. He was involved in that last goal. Straight away the Saints though into attack again. Ball sends them on their way. Bowden backed his judgment. Again the Tigers though going wide out of defence to try and head forward. Goddard, both teams just having trouble with their footing, still out on that outer wing. Luke Ball always seems to have time. This is Montagna. In towards full forward. Guerra couldn't handle it. Hartigan goes for the line and gets there with some help. Altons and Noble. Fiora. Good forward momentum that time. Again, a hurried kick from Hartigan. Gives him a 50-50 chance on the wing. Fiora maintained possession. Well done again. Up the centre half forward. Tom, which couldn't get a handle on it. And back into the middle. The Saints are off and away. Hayes run down nicely by Fleming. Good body pressure also on Pickett. And Thomas Roach in amongst all there. 16-9 to 6-6.
Just dominated the inside 50s. St Kilda 57 to 32.
Ottens wins this one. Jackson again off a step. High towards half forward. Voss in front. Well done, Hyde. Affected the spoil. Numbers though with the Saints. Bad bounce. Chance for Kelvin Moore. Well tackled by Goddard. Then he overruns it. Moore dives back on and drags it underneath. Ooh. Thought for a moment he may have given the free kick away, but umpire Goldsmith says no.
I think that was a correct call by Goldsmith. Spink, Moore had to have some type of attempt to get to the ball.
Noble gets it down. Out wide. Kane Johnson, a snap from the pocket, only as far. There's Fisher takes it mark. Del Santo wants his left side again. Gets it and delivers to Hamill, who's got the sit and couldn't quite take the mark. Bowden, who's been Richmond's best. Fleming, well done, Tim Fleming. Aggressive play, brilliantly done. Handball inside. Nathan Brown off the non-dominant side, missed the mark. Richardson. Little kick around the corner, intended for Hyde. Straight through him. Noble. Baker. Under pressure, just slams it onto the boot. And Black, can he keep it in? He can. Well done. The overlap provided by Hayes. Good chase though. Coming from Fleming. Causes the turnover, although Jackson can't control it. He's pushed in the back. Surely must get the free kick, and he does.
And Michael, we just go back to a moment ago with Richmond up in their forward line. They missed 3 targets, 3 gettable kicks that they missed.
Jackson, thumping kick towards the wing. Otten's in front, can't take it. Johnson couldn't get boot to ball. Black. Now ball, now Jones has been fantastic. Kick out wide. Harvey coming in for possession, number 24. Kicks along the boundary line. Revolt on a long lead, can't control it. And chance now for Fiora. It's a mop up at half-back, delivers. Mark taken by Roden.
Who gets it through the middle, and there's a path opening up for them this time. Good running from Hardigan. This is Jackson again. He's been about the best thing to come from the day as Richo from stage left makes an appearance and can go back for his 5th. He's got a nice kick on him, Jackson, hasn't he, in terms of depth?
Well, he hasn't looked out of sorts or uncomfortable out there today. I reckon it's been a pretty impressive debut. He looks very comfortable.
He's a good size too.
Good size.
Matthew Richardson. 9 possessions, 6 marks. And coming in for his 5th goal. And sails safely through. 5 out of 7 for Richo. And the Saints have got 16.
And better running. And we just see there, Nathan Brown was actually calling him that he's got plenty of time, but got under pressure because he failed to get a shepherd in there. But lovely kick by Jackson, great mark by Richardson, and that's his 5th.
Andrew Cracker on the boundary line. Matthew Richardson, 7 bags of 5 this season. Hayes. Del Santo wrapped up. And Fleming just making sure he went to ground. There's St Kilda's next 4 matches. So some challenges. Big match next week against the Bombers, and then Geelong down at Skilled Stadium.
3 of their remaining 6 are here at the Telstra Dome, where they are unbeaten. This will be 10 out of 10 for them.
Roden towards halfway. Oh, Del Santo with coach, couldn't take it. Oh, route. Johnson bowled over by Brown. Off to Kelvin Moore, off a step from 48 metres. Kicks gold and kicks one for the Tigers. 3 in a row now for Richmond. And some joy at last for the Tiger fans here at the Dome. And Kelvin Moore kicking just his 3rd goal in AFL football in game number 5, the 20-year-old. And a very good finish. And something at least, Steve, for the Tiger fans to celebrate.
Well, you've got Kelvin Moore and also young Jackson today that have shown some good signs for the Tigers. So not all is lost. They've certainly got some talent there. But obviously they need some more of their senior players to get back on the field. I think they really miss Stafford. They need to get more out of Gaspar, hopefully next season. Obviously still recovering for that knee injury, but certainly their talent pool's there. They just need time, and I guess they need their key senior core to stand up and play most of the season next season.
(16-9 to 8-6). Well read by Fleming as Brown goes to Richard. And the Tigers are coming here. The Sting just taking out a little of the Saints at the moment. But at least the Tigers are boxing on.
Well, it's funny. Darren Crocker, I should say, at three-quarter time mentioned that they needed to win their share from stoppages, and exactly what they're doing this quarter.
Well, he's lining up for his 50th goal for the season, Matthew Richardson. It'll be the 6th time he's done it in his career, and he tries to ride it home, but I think he's missed. He doesn't think he missed. He's kicked 5-4 for the day. He's looking for the replay. I think I'm on the umpire's side on this one.
Margin now 50 points. Del Santo out wide. Voss, who's been very good, hasn't had a lot of the ball. 6 marks coming in for possession number 10, but he's been very effective blocking Matthew Richardson. Well, that's a poor kick. Comfortable mark taken by Zanto. Just backward of the wing. Kicks towards Moore. Again, Voss just drifting in front of the pack. Takes another mark. That's mark number 7. And he'll get another chance to find a target up forward. He's played pretty much exclusively in the first half as a loose player, just getting back on Matthew Richardson, and really was effective. Kick coming to Revolt by Jones. There's Hamill calling for it long. That's where Revolt goes long to the goal square. Hamill, little push at the back. He snaps, but a free kick. Free kick and 50 metres. I saw the former captain say, "What for?" And the umpire said, "Well, you kicked it away," and there's the push on Bowden. And 50 metres, and the free kick to Joel Bowden. Comes to centre half back. Kicks out wide, but poor use of the ball. Mark taken by Peckett. Peckett, a little chip over the top. Ball.
So ball into Goddard. Hamill waiting, ready to pounce in the goal square if the ball's sent in long. Del Santo's down there as well, and Noble pushes inside the 50. Revolt away to his right as the Saints make another interchange with Black coming back on the ground. And Luke Ball has a rest with 5.5 minutes remaining. Meantime, Peckett goes to Noble. Really labour-intensive build-up here for the Saints as they try and unlock this Tiger defence. Just a little bit too much on it from Goddard, and Del Santo forced to go on the defensive. And Richo just blasting away. Barricade built safely by the Saints, and we'll do it all again. Frankie Peckett out to Baker with that delightful moustache. Mark taken by Noble. Off to Montagna. Just hooks the kick into centre half forward. Roden was committed. That was a great hand shown there from Hardigan across half back. They get it into full forward, or centre half forward at least. Richo cops a bump from Baker. Strong at the footy. Got bundled away. Had good support. Ferguson linking up nicely with Black, who can go from half back. And he's got Aussie Jones in space. Made a meal of it. Gets it to Milne. Milne sets it up for Revolt. Pettifer was committed and provides the relief for the Tigers.
Bowden uses Brown. And a kick up looking for Moore. Can he keep it in? He can. Jackson and Moore. Oh, gee, Randall from Baker. Must be a free kick. And it'll come back to Daniel Jackson. Done some very good things in this match. His debut match for the Tigers. Nest of Richmond players in the centre of the ground. Ottens. Johnson called to play on, not 15. He kicks it inside, attacking 50. Richardson on the lead, and he hits him on the chest. So Matthew Richardson in a position not dissimilar to where he was a few moments ago. Just missed. We get another opportunity to kick goal number 6.
Well, it was a clever kick by young Jackson to bring it inboard, which allowed Johnson to hit Richardson
Improves the angle and kicks goal number 6. Well played, Matthew Richardson. So the Tigers now stay with the last 4 goals of the match, and I don't think Grant Thomas will be too impressed about this finish and final quarter from the Saints.
Probably not, but I think Danny Frawley will be delighted with the way his boys have lifted in this last quarter, and they've certainly had a real crack. Their midfielders have started to win a bit more of the ball, and they've been able to convert on the scoreboard.
He's done his groin by the looks of things down here, young Daniel Jackson. Chriso, really sad end to what's been a pretty impressive debut for the young fella.
I'm pretty sure it might even be a bit of cramp, Andy.
Oh, they went straight to his groin, Sauce. He was in a fair bit of pain. It didn't look like a cramp.
Gee, let's hope it's not too bad. Matthew Richardson has 50 goals now for the season with his bag of 6 this afternoon. Well, the Saints got out to a 69-point advantage earlier in this quarter. In fact, with the first goal of the quarter coming from Stephen Mill. The Tigers with the last 4 goals. Ottens. Fleming. Under pressure, gives it up. Now Harvey surges forward. Hamill one out. Well played, Bowden. He's been very good, Joel Bowden. Hartigan mopping up at the back. Throws it onto the boot, and it gets to Kellaway. Still inside defensive 50. Chips it over the top. Kane Johnson. Coming in for possession, number 24. The acting captain. Along the wing, Fiora with the lead. Just had too much on it, though, the kick. And a boundary throw-in.
And, Michael, you mentioned that Grant Thomas might be a little disappointed with this last quarter. Obviously, percentage so critical for the top 4 positions. 4 teams vying for the top 2.
Absolutely. So they'll be disappointed. There's no question about that. Hayes gets it from Del Santo. Chips to Baker. He's been paid the mark. Back to Hayes. From backward to the centre, kicks towards Revolt. Can't take the mark. Is there a free kick? No. Chance at the back, well done by Pettifer. Went to ground, but got up quickly and delivers to the wing. Mark taken by Hyde. Some flow in this Richmond game in the last 15 minutes. Hyde, though, confronted. Roden back to Hyde. They've got to beat 3, the 2 of them, Hyde and Roden. They do. Roach. Pettifer, look out. Tivendale. Tackle coming from Mill, but kept his head. Gets it out to Hartigan. Now he's got a problem, but he takes them on. Well played, Brent Hartigan. Kick towards half forward. Brown works to the front. Over the head of Moore. Numbers with the Saints. Voss ties it up. Ball still loose. Tuck. Handball in hope. Chance for Jones. See, St Kilda have got numbers back there. And Jones just almost walks away. And delivers back to his defensive goal square. Voss. Baker, Richardson didn't and couldn't get there. Stephen Baker still inside defensive 50. Towards the wing. Well, good strong mark taken in front by Blake. Just arched the back to keep Kellaway away. And as the Saints fans start to celebrate. Baker, Black. See, they're just not getting forward, though. They're just sharing the ball at half-back at the moment, St Kilda. Voss.
Much more pressure, though, Richmond have applied in this last quarter. They're actually coming up to the ball carrier where previous quarters they got them back.
Well, they didn't need to worry because St Kilda have run out 44-point winners this afternoon over the Tigers. They dominated proceedings in the first 3 quarters, led by 63 points at 3/4 time. But a good comeback by the Tigers in the final quarter, and they won in the end by 44 points. But I'm sure all Saints fans will be relieved to get back on the winners list.
Oh, no doubt. They wanted the 4 points today, and they really did it with their intensity, particularly early in the game. They won the clearances. They were hard in there with the tackling, and more important,